when I read the script when I was, actually, I was even 16 at the time when I read it, because by the time we shot it, I was 17. It's hard to even put it into words. You read something that just absolutely grabs you. It's like something you've never read before. And to be a 16-year-old girl and to read a role of someone who's just so passionate and so intelligent and full of so much integrity, like someone I really genuinely like, it doesn't happen often because, a lot of the roles you get as a teenage girl are annoying stereotypes that I often find sexist. So here was this role that I could really dive into and became so passionate about and thus got to make the film, and I'm just extremely grateful for it.
Your character is empowered,
Mm-hmm.
and she decides to do something about the situation. Is that, do you identify with that?
I do, completely and utterly. I mean, there was no point in me debating with whether or not what Haley does is right or wrong. What was important was to, become her. And, she sees something that's wrong about society that people are ignoring, and she's going to do something about it. And I find that really inspiring. And there's a lot of things in this world that make me angry. And here's someone who's actually doing something about that. And, in my own way, I found it very beautiful.
What about the militant stance that she takes? I mean, obviously she decides to do something that is an act of vigilantism.
Mm-hmm.
The internet is a view to the late Charles Bronson in terms of Death Wish and being a vigilante. Do you think that women who are in this situation ought to be vigilantes, or the whole vigilante thing? Is it something to be encouraged, or what?
I don't encourage anything, of course, that Haley does in this film. Mind you, I mean, to me, there was no point in me thinking about those things, though. I'm not, as Ellen, I mean, this film sparks debate about vengeance, and it's amazing because it really provokes people and it gets people talking. I mean, hearing my point of view, I don't know what it really matters, because you're going to hear a billion points of view. Just because I'm in the movie obviously doesn't mean what I say is, even remotely going to agree with anybody.
The whole idea of the internet, the impersonal of the internet, you get on, you email someone, they talk to you, unless it's in capital letters, you have no idea what their voice inflection is. Is this something that you do often? Do you carry on digital relationships, if you follow what I'm saying, with anyone?
Yeah.
And what are your comments on the nature of the digital world in terms of relationships?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm a big email junkie, so I stay in touch with all my friends by email because I'm always all over the place, and, I love email. And, but, have I ever been really into chat rooms? No. I mean, it's not my judgment towards them. I just never really got into it. But I think the digital world really fascinates me because there's this argument that it really brings humans together and that technology is making the world smaller and bringing people together. And it does do that to a certain extent. I also think it really, really isolates people. And, but the internet works for people. I mean, a very good friend of mine's mother is now married to someone she met on the internet, and they're completely and utterly in love. And you can meet someone at a bar who's going to lie through their teeth to you or slip something in your drink, or, you know what I mean? Like, we're so fearful all the time. I mean, sometimes you just have to take individual responsibility and trust yourself and trust situations and be careful. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
And living in New York City, and you're 19. How does where you came from compare with where you are now? This is the biggest city, perhaps, in the world. And how has it changed you? How has it affected you? So the question is, New York City, you.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, so which I love. I adore the East Coast of Canada, and I recommend anyone who go there. Everyone should go. It's beautiful, amazing people, really good seafood. Anyway, and that's a small city, and I'm glad I'm from there because, it's a humble place. I've remained, grounded. I have really wicked parents and friends, and I just played a lot of sports growing up, and, swam in lakes, and, all of those good things. And, yeah, now I'm in, New York, and I love it, It's like electricity for the bones, and it's a really remarkable place. I miss...
Is it a dangerous place for you, you think?
I think there's elements of danger everywhere. I think America and the media in America tries to make you feel scared a lot. And I think there's a point when you need to live your life. And are we really scared of things, or are we just fearful of death? And there's no reason to be afraid of death, in my opinion. So, really, yeah, I could die any second. I could...
You were once 14.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go in your life to try and to create as a 14? Because you were 17
Mm-hmm.
or 16 when you read it, but you wanted to be 14.
Yeah.
How did you become 14?
Well, I think the beginning of the film allows for that a lot. You kind of have this naive young girl, and, shouldn't be doing what she's doing, and, but it's not her fault. Anyway, I don't know, it's just about, like, she's really kind of maintaining this kind of playful nature, and this, very kind of singular-minded individual who's going to accomplish this task. And I think it's also about passion, too. I think you have a lot of time when you're a teenager to be really passionate. I mean, youth is typically revolution, and I think we need a revolution right now, so...